Hey everyone, my name is Keith Hallisey. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for HDVI, and I want to thank everyone for joining or tuning in to our webinar. We're going to be discussing on the billing and payment side our new capability to apply credit invoices in the HDVI agency portal. We're going to start with just a couple minutes of information on the session. I'll do some welcome and housekeeping. Brett Vaness, our CFO, is going to discuss a little bit about what's behind the changes and what to expect. He's also going to introduce other folks on our accounting team, including Laura Klein, who has joined us. And then Caleb Cunningham, our product manager, is going to do a demo of the invoicing and credit invoices. It's going to be a very quick walkthrough. It's pretty easy to figure out. And then we'll have a little bit of time if there's Q&A, and then we'll wrap up. So this should be a pretty quick session. Just a couple things. One, again, thanks for joining. We appreciate the partnership. Second, participants are muted, but you are able to ask questions by raising your hand, and we can unmute you, and you can ask a question. As well, we are recording today's session, so we will be supplying a link to watch the video on demand afterward, so that you can watch it again and again and share it with those that you love. I'm going to hand it over to Brett now, who's going to talk a little bit about the finance team introduction. Brett?
Thank you, Keith. Yeah, I just first want to start off by just introducing you to the team here. So, as you have questions or as we reach out, these will be one of the three people who will be talking to you. And I think it's important for you guys to know who you're talking to and just kind of a little bit of our background. So, again, my name is Brett Vaness. I am the CFO here. I've been with HDVI for roughly 1 year. And I look forward to this new improvement here with the payment portal and the ability to work with you going forward. So, I will now turn it over to Laura so she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Klein. I'm an accounting manager here at HDVI. I've been here for about 6 months, and I'm excited to roll this out to allow better control into your hands. Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you, Laura. And Morgan could not be on the call today, but he is our accountant and he primarily focuses on AR receipting, collections, and AP processing as well. So he was, like I said, unfortunately could not be on this call today, but he's been with HDVI for a few years now and look forward to you being able to work with him as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about using this portal. So I think it's important to kind of level set and talk about why are we making this change at HDVI. So part of this change came about because we actually got a lot of feedback from multiple agencies looking to be able to take credits. There was a huge frustration out there that when people would use the payment portal, they could see an invoice, they could go out there and they could pay on that invoice. But if they had any credits, whether that was a return deposit, an overpayment, whatever that might be, they couldn't use those credits. And it's something that seems very simplistic and something that seemed that we should have had already. It just wasn't an ability. And so we wanted to push that through and make that change. And you'll hear from Caleb here pretty soon, and he was instrumental to helping us make that change, and we're able to now roll that out. Um, it also gives the agents ability to control the account. So one thing that we've had to do recently is we get money in, you send an ACH or a wire or maybe a bank to or a check to a lockbox, and then you have to send us an email stating everything that you're paying on. And we got to make sure all those tie out. We might have some questions back to you, and then there's a little bit of back and forth. And some things might get lost in translation if they have historically. This takes all of that noise out of it. Right now, you control what payments you're paying, what credits you're taking, and you can do that in real time and you don't have to get us involved. Now, if we have questions, we can reach out and ask, but that will put you as an agent in control of what you're paying and how it gets applied to your open invoices. The last reason for this change is HDVI growth. The faces and the names have changed on the finance team over the last year, but if you'll notice, the team is still at three, yet we are growing and we are a growing company. And so with that growth, there are improvements that we have to make to be able to sustain that growth. And one of those improvements is being able to use this portal for those items. So by being able to have the agents use this portal, that will allow HDVI to be able to grow without losing that customer service aspect and without making things more confusing for you. So now that we know the why, let's talk a little bit about what should you expect when you get into the portal. As I said, you will be able to take credit. So not only just seeing and picking an invoice that you have due, you'll also be able to see what credits do you have sitting in that account. And you'll be able to go through and check off all the items that you want to pay. Now you have to have a net positive. If it comes to a point where you have a balance that is a credit that you just need refunded, that will be a whole separate conversation that we have to have. And we'll give you an email at the end of this presentation that you can email and have that conversation with us. But this allows you to take those credits in real time. And like I said, it gives you the ability to manage all of your insureds. If you have multiple insureds within your portal, you'll be able to manage those at one time and make one lump payment. It should also be a time savings for you because right now, if you send a payment in, you have to send in some kind of documentation to the billing at HDVI email address to outline and to detail what that payment makes up. You won't have to do that anymore. You don't have to take those extra steps to email us or to go through and create some kind of copy, whether you're the agency who likes to highlight the different ones you're paying or to have a separate spreadsheet. You don't have to do any of that anymore. All you have to do is go into the portal, pick the invoices you're paying and do that, and then it will show up on our end. And if we have questions on it, we can come back and ask you. But as long as you're picking the right invoices, it should be a one for one and directly feeds into our system. Again, less manual intervention you have, less chance for confusion, less chance you have for mistakes. So again, just kind of takes us out of being the middleman in this process. And what can you expect going forward? So this payment portal, we are putting a lot of time and effort in, and we do see this as the payment option of the future. And so, as this is something that we are, highly encouraging, if not borderline requiring to do at this point, at some point in the future, this will be a requirement as the payment method to HDVI. We won't have the ability anymore to ACH or wire or to send a check anymore, unless it's a one-off outside the box issue that we've identified. But this portal is what we're going to be expecting for all agents to use going forward. So this is a really good time right now to get used to the portal, ask questions of this team, ask Caleb questions of Caleb to the point where you're comfortable with it so when we get to the point that is going to be a absolute requirement, there's not going to be another option, that just makes that transition a lot smoother.
Great. Well, thanks, Brett. Appreciate that context. Caleb, I'll go ahead and hand it off to you, and you can kind of walk people through what they're going to see.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, I'm Caleb Cunningham. I'm one of our product managers at HDVI. I actually got the pleasure to show this feature originally before credit invoices were available to everyone, I think almost 3 years ago now. So it's the same screen. You'll be able to see all your invoices. However, you'll also see the credit invoices that we have for you. Those will be displayed in red. You can then select which invoices you want to pay. And like Brett said, the net due must be positive to HDVI. And then you just click make payment. It's as simple as that. Then you'll see the pop-up they usually do where you'll enter your payment information. It's as simple as that. It's just selecting which invoices you want and then actually applying them and making that payment to us. That's really it. If you have any questions or you want any feature requests for accounting in general, you can email me at caleb@hdvi.com. We're more than happy to look at and making those feature requests happen.
Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, it's pretty simple, and again, I think as Brett noted up front, we're very interested in working directly with you guys to address your questions, any gaps in the knowledge. We'll continue to make improvements in the system. We'll continue to reach out for information from all of our agency partners. You guys are dealing with this stuff every day too, and we want to continue to make improvements that make us a great partner to work with. So feel free at any point in time. Brett shared contact information for he and his team. For most inquiries, you should be using the billing at hdvi.com address, as that goes to everyone on the team at once, and we can make sure that we're fielding your inquiries as quickly as possible. But with any questions, feel free to reach out to Brett or the team directly. If there's any questions or problems that you have using any part of the billing and invoicing capabilities of the agency portal. Thanks to Brett, Laura, and Caleb for jumping in here and walking through this. Thanks everyone for staying with us in this and giving this a try. And again, we're happy to help in any way possible. Thanks and have a great day.